what's up everybody? It's Isaac from Alchemy here, and this is episode 26 of the Alchemy Devlog. I'm coming at you from that weird week in between Christmas and New Year's Eve, when no one really knows what's happening and a lot of people have time off, including the Alchemy team. Most of the folks are enjoying some well-deserved time away with their families and friends right now, but I'm here and I'm doing stuff, and that's not going to stop me from recording another episode of the Devlog, so here we are. In this one, we've got some cool new updates to our dice rolls that I can't wait to show you. We've also got some cool Vaesen improvements, some smaller quality of life things, and kind of final touches for that system. We've also got the first glimmer of hope from the system builder tools that we've been talking about for a while. I'll show you what cool parts of the Alchemy experience have been upgraded by that. And of course, I'll take some time to go through our roadmap, check in on where things are, where we're headed, and we can sync up on that stuff together. And I'm going to go through that questions and answers spreadsheet. We've got one question since last time, so we'll get into that towards the end of the episode. With that out of the way, let's dive in. All right, first up, I should probably mention, if you go to our homepage, there's a great billboard for a Humble Bundle. We are part of a Humble Bundle that's active right now for Czepeku's multiversal maps and scenes for Alchemy. This is a pack of 25 scenes with matching maps from Czepeku. Incredible scenes and maps with a ton of variants. There's like 1,000 assets in these packs, and you don't have to use them on Alchemy. So you really don't have an excuse. Go to Humble Bundle now and pick this thing up. It's got, I don't know, a few days left. Let's find out together. Where is it? Anybody know? I need to be live streaming so that you can point these things out to me. 9 days, 20 hours left as I record. So not a lot of time. If you're catching this episode live, you have 9 days. If you're not, it might be too late. Sorry. But the good news is you'll be able to buy all these things individually on Alchemy for a whole lot more money. But right now, they are available in this awesome Humble Bundle. So don't sleep on this. Go get it today. All right, let's take a look at the dice updates. Let's go into something classic here. Let's go into a D&D game. I've got the Ascendant Cascade. Let's go into one of those. Always a good time in the Ascendant Cascade. Cool. So dice roller, one of the oldest components in Alchemy. We've been rolling dice since day one, of course, and it really hasn't gotten a lot of love until now. So rolling individual dice is not terribly exciting. It's pretty much the same old thing. You get to see the die here. You can hover over it and see what die was rolled, and then you see the result. And you can, of course, click in. Not much has changed there. But where it gets interesting is when you have more complex actions. Things like, even rolling arbitrary dice, a d20 plus 7. It's going to show you the die roll result here, as well as the final summed value here, but even that, not terribly exciting. But if we go into something like a character, let's just go ahead and create, let's bring in one of these characters to take a look at what Bakurio's actions look like. So we'll play that guy and take a look. Let's roll this bite attack action. Well, first let's actually take a look at what it is. So we've got pretty classic 5e attack action here with a plus 18 to hit. Holy moly. Strength modifier of plus 10. What is this dragon? So we've got the 1d20 plus strength plus proficiency, and then we've got 2d12 for the damage plus 3d6 radiant damage on top of that. So we're going to have a total of 6 dice being rolled for this action. Let's take a look at what that looks like now. So, if you've been playing dice pool games on Alchemy, like Vaesen or Tales from the Loop, or those are the ones that are in my brain right now, you've seen this kind of update to the dice pool actions. Well, it's everywhere now. These are all the individual dice that went into this action, and you can hover over them to see, oh, this was the d20 rolled a 5, and then we added in a bazillion things and got that 23 for the attack. Damage is 25. That came from these dice rolls, 9, 7, 1, 4, and 4. And of course, you can always click in to view all the details, just like you used to be able to. That's all here. But if you want to see at a glance what happened, it's all there in the journal card now, which I think is awesome. And there's a little bit of suspense to it now, too, because you don't see that summary until all the dice are done rolling. And I think that's great. This applies to pretty much every dice roll out there. So get in there and start taking a look at what actions are like, and I think you'll be surprised by how cool they are. We have some more plans for this too, giving you a little bit of a sneak peek into the next couple of weeks. We're going to be bringing more of the results from this details modal into the card itself, with some different controls to kind of page between different views of that. So it's going to get a lot cooler, but it's really cool already. So, and of course, this stuff is all still just as it was for dice pools. That's all looking good. Shows you all the dice rolls there too. Yeah, let's take a look at a spell. I think spells got some love here too. Let's add a new character. I don't know if any of these have spells, but we'll make one of them a spellcaster. Play it. No spells on this one. Let's give it spellcasting ability modifier of intelligence. And ooh, we've got some cool spells from this module itself in here. Let's throw a couple spell slot options on here and learn a couple spells. Let's just grab all of them. I don't know what's here. Gravity repulsion. That sounds cool. Okay. All right. Let's go into this guy, go into the spells, and roll some spells. We'll cast Calm Waters. No dice there, of course. Why would there be dice on the ones that I'm trying to test live? Here we go. Mire Ball. 3 dice in the mix here. We've got 3d10 with a result of 19 damage. Very cool to be able to see those. Mire Ball +1. We'll upcast that one. Add another die in the mix. Gravity Repulsion. Ooh, there's 3d6 for that one. Blessed Blizzard. This has got to deal a lot of damage, right? Yeah, 4d8. Not bad. So yeah, spells got the upgrade. All of them got the upgrade, really. I think dice pools maybe still show you, not dice pools, roll tables just show you the result. I think we'll probably upgrade that one to show you the die that was rolled, because that's always fun. But I don't know for sure if we'll do that. So we'll be taking a look at that. But yeah, that's the cool new animated dice roll stuff, showing you the results on the card itself, and more to come there. So hope you enjoy that. All right, let's jump on over to a Vaesen game to take a look at some of those quality of life improvements that we've made over there. We'll jump back into that Devlog 23 Vaesen game because it is ready to go, and we'll take a look at the cool new stuff. Ooh, this has some old stuff in it. Neat. All right, so when you're playing a player character in a Vaesen game, let's go ahead and add my testing account here. He's got a character already set up. That's great. Let's play him. So you can now right-click to edit your skills quickly and easily right from here in the game. You don't have to dive into your character sheet to edit those anymore. Just click edit and it'll bring up your current value, which for this character is 1, and you can gain 1 to be at a value of 2 for physique. And that updates nice and quick there. You can even roll those. And again, we're seeing the results kind of deferred here until the dice are done rolling, which is great for that bit of suspense. That's new this episode. But yeah, you can edit these. I think you can edit skills too. Although yeah, this is new too. So you can edit the value for skills. Like you can bring agility up to 3 and make a check using that, which is going to take physique of 2 plus an agility of 3, rolling 5 dice for that pool with 1 success. The next thing that's new for Vaesen is conditions. So over here in the trackers panel, we have a new drop-down for conditions that you can apply to your character, which these are conditions that get applied when you are kind of dealt damage or whatever effects bring these on. You can get exhausted. That removes 1 die from your pools for physical things. So if we were to roll physique now, it would just be 1 die instead of 2. And then these kind of stack on each other, so you can be exhausted, battered for a result of -2 to your physique rolls. And then you can have wounded too, which gives you another -1. And then all the way up to broken, which you can't do anything at that point. These also show up on the character sheet itself. So you've got a section here for conditions, and then broken down into physical and mental conditions that your character has currently. So this one, I just checked exhausted, battered, wounded, and broken physical in this trackers panel, and those are showing up here on my read-only side of the character sheet as well. And then you can, of course, just remove these when you're done with those conditions, when you've healed those conditions, and your rolls will go back to what they should be, unmodified by your conditions. This is obviously something we need for a lot of systems. Vaesen was just kind of the first one where we needed to take a stab at automating some conditions. So we've got some of the foundations in place to bring this to other systems. I think we're going to be making probably some UI updates to this. This kind of picker is maybe not the best way to do this. We were realizing after we did it and used it a bit. So I think we're probably going to swap this out for a slightly different UI soon, but the effect will still be kind of the same. And then we're going to bring this to Tales from the Loop, which has a very similar system, and to all other games very soon. I know people are really excited to have this for 5e, of course, where you can track various conditions, and you need to kind of do that stuff in that game as well. So more conditions coming soon. Pretty exciting stuff for Vaesen. We have some Vaesen stuff happening on Start Playing Games. If you haven't joined in, we've had a few sessions of kind of learn to play through Start Playing on Alchemy for Vaesen. Specifically, I think we've had 3 or 4, I think 4 sessions now of that. I believe we have one more happening maybe next week, the first week of the year, 2024. And we are going to be having a Vaesen weekend on Alchemy, a big event that we're hosting with Start Playing Games, on Start Playing Games, with paid GMs doing their thing, or not paid, it's up to them, but GMs on Start Playing Games running Vaesen games for people. It's going to be a huge event happening in a couple of weeks, mid-January, on Start Playing Games. You won't want to miss that if you're into Vaesen. And speaking of Start Playing, we're going to be doing more of that in the new year. We're going to collaborate with them on more kind of learn to play and activation weekends for different systems, because it's working out really great and we're having a lot of fun doing it. Shout out to Dan and Vinny for running those for folks. Those workshops have been a hit. Okay, back to the game stuff. So I mentioned some system builder things earlier. We've got new actions for system builder, building out your dice tray now. This stuff isn't quite ready for you all to use in your custom games, but you are getting the benefits of it here in games like Vaesen. So these are no longer kind of hard-coded dice for your game system. We're using System Builder on the back end to define actions that show up in this tray here. So instead of these just being kind of hard-coded by me or by Dakota or by one of the other team members, we've got a way for us to do this through the System Builder UI that, again, we're going to make available to you all sometime. But right now we're trying to go fast and reap the benefits of it for ourselves. So we're excited to bring this in. And Vaesen is one of the first games to use it. Tales from the Loop is also using it. I've got a Tales from the Loop game here. If we go into its dice, it's using the same kind of pools, but they're defined separately for Tales from the Loop. And of course, you've got different dice here too. These are existing System Builder custom dice that I've shown in previous episodes. And you can bring those into actions too. So if I create a new action here and make it a die roll, you can select the dice from the custom dice defined for this system in System Builder, which is just a d6 with those custom glyphs. So if we do a 2d6 action, and we roll that we'll see those custom dice with their glyphs rolling in here and the result of that roll. Pretty exciting stuff. We're definitely making progress, but a lot of it is kind of hidden and behind the scenes. So I kind of wanted to shout some of it out for you all today in this episode. Other than those things, we've done a lot of back-end cleaning up, bug fixes, optimizations, just lots of kind of smaller things. So be sure to check out the changelog for the list of things that have been changed or fixed. And some of your favorite bugs may have made the list this time. Cool. Well, let's take a look at the roadmap and see where we are. So right now, things that we've got in progress, streamer mode. Yeah, I know, broken record. That's been on my list for a while. We're most of the way through it, but it's been kind of set down for a couple weeks with the holiday things happening and other priorities popping up. But it's still there, and I'm going to be hitting the ground running with that next week to get back into it and hopefully wrap that up quickly. One of the last remaining really big items that we absolutely have to have is customization for tactical tokens. The ability to rotate tokens will be coming first, and then customizing the background and border sometime later. But we definitely need to be able to rotate tokens for games like Pirate Borg. We hear it a lot. We know it's a problem. And we're going to do a quicker pass on being able to rotate tokens separately from all the other stuff. So we'll get that to you sooner than later. It should happen in January. And if it doesn't happen by the end of January, let me know and I'll go do it like on the weekend or something. We'll make it happen. Dice customization. You just saw a bunch of that stuff. We still have a few things to do here. And then we're going to be bringing the dice customization to custom games first. So you'll be able to use this in custom system universes to define a custom die or a custom set of dice with custom glyphs for each side, and then bring those together into a custom action tray, that dice tray at the bottom. You can define actions just as you would for a character that show up in that bottom tray. Those are, you saw the outcome of that through Tales from the Loop and Vaesen, but you'll be able to do that for custom games here very soon in the next couple of weeks. And then persistent encounters. We are a couple weeks in on the kind of back-end work related to this. It's been kind of a part-time project, I'll say, but we're most of the way through it, and we'll have the ability to have that encounter state persist in between sessions once this project is wrapped up. So very excited to have that out there for you all, both to keep your games flowing and to keep us from interrupting games when we do sort of destructive server-side changes, which happen from time to time. We try to keep those limited to kind of off hours, but sometimes the need arises during the day. All right, V1 game systems. Let's take a look at what we have here. Of course, Vaesen we're calling done. We have a couple like small things to polish up before we start the big weekend in January for Start Playing Games, but it's pretty much there. Tales from the Loop, same story. It's close. There's a couple things to button up around it. I know it could definitely be streamlined, and a few features could be added, so we're going to be working on that in January. And then once that's wrapped, we're going to be jumping into Coriolis, and I think we're going to grab one other system off this list to work on in parallel mid-January. So we'll have another episode before then, so I'll check in with you all on that again. And we've released a few more smaller systems with Kickstarter fulfillment waves, things like Cartel, Badge Quest, Mazes, Darkest House. Those were all Wave 4 titles. Those systems are pretty much done using custom game systems in Alchemy. So those are out there and in the wild. So V1, we are really close on platform features. There's definitely a few things not super visible on this list, different bugs, smaller enhancements that we need to get through before we call V1 done. And of course, this list of systems, there's a lot here that we need to get into. So we're going to be diving into that. But the physical rewards for the V1 Kickstarter are going to be shipping soon. I believe they're going to be shipping in January 2024. And they'll be coming to you before we have everything ready. So I wanted to take a moment to talk about what that means. We're going to be doing our best to set up all of the universes ahead of time. So for example, let's talk about Pathfinder 2e. It's going to be a while before we have Pathfinder on Alchemy because it's such a huge and crunchy system with a lot of interplay between different things, and it's going to take us time to implement that. But you'll be able to redeem Pathfinder as soon as that box comes to you, your content deck or your backer box that includes Pathfinder, and you'll have access to everything that we have done for it. So things like articles in the universe, you'll be able to read and go through all of that stuff, enjoy looking at all the cool art and reading about it. You won't be able to set up games for some of them. Things like Pathfinder will make sure that it's not possible to set up a game in kind of a broken state, but we'll have README kind of documentation in each of those universes, letting you know the state of the universe and what you can expect from the contents inside of that. And we'll be keeping those up to date as we roll out improvements to those. So keep your eyes on those Kickstarter updates. We'll have a lot more to share about that here in the next week or two. And of course, keep watching the devlog. I'll talk about all this stuff whenever it's happening. And the what's new in the app, that always has the latest changes from the week. So keep an eye on that for updates to your favorite parts of Alchemy. All right, with that out of the way, let's dive into that Q&A. Okay, we're in episode 26 this week. We've got one question from Martin. Custom System Skill View. Hello, I've raised this as a bug/feature enhancement through Discord a while back. One gripe I have is that the skills and attributes for the custom system are non-interactive fields and are displayed horizontally on the character sheet. This first means I cannot use them for players to roll on, so I was wondering if there are any plans to allow skills and attributes for custom systems to function, like skills do in 5e, for example, where they can be used to trigger a roll, perhaps similar to programming actions. And secondly, could the display please be fixed so they appear vertically and remain readable? If I have a custom system with any more than a handful of skills, they become squeezed in the horizontal view. Thanks, Martin. Okay, I'll take the easy one first. Display. Yes, we are aware of that. It looks bad when you have more than a few actions in there, or not actions, more than a few skills or attributes for your characters. They get squished together. It looks awful. We're going to fix that very soon. We need it for some of our custom systems too, so we have an incentive internally to make these things look good for other systems. So I just checked the internal backlog for V1 today, and it's definitely on there. We have a task tracking this, and we're going to get to it soon. So yeah, thanks for the reminder, and we'll get into that one very soon. Second, using custom system skills and attributes in dice rolls is possible today. So I thought I would just take a few moments to walk through that with you live. So I went ahead and set up a test custom system universe earlier. And if we go into this and go into the pre-made section, I've set up a pre-made template for pre-made characters with just a couple of attributes and skills here. We've got attribute of Stronk and Thinky, and then we have skills of computers and hiking. That's our player character template. And then I went ahead and created a technician archetype player character here using that. And this guy has 0 for those attributes, so he's not very exciting. But let's go ahead and use this in a game so I can show you the cool action stuff. So Test Custom System Game is a game that I've created using that universe that I had just shown you. And over here, we've got Greg. We'll go ahead and play him and take a look at his character sheet. So he has 1 Stronk and 2 Thinkies. And then for skills, he has 3 computers and 2 hikings. Cool. I went ahead and created an action that uses all of these things. Well, not all of them, but it uses some of them in conjunction. So he has a hacking action here that is a 1d20 die roll plus the Thinky attribute and the computer's skills skill, which seems like a great way to do that. So if we go in and we use this action, we'll get a d20 die roll up here, which is a result of 6, and then the total for the roll, or for that action, was 11. So if we pop into the results for that, we've got 6 on the d20, plus 2 for Thinky, and 3 for computers. 6 plus 5, 11. So you can use those today to set up actions. Just pop into dice roll, and they show up here in attribute and skill. You can pull in strong and thinky. So if we wanted to set up like urban trekking as an action for Greg, let's say it's a 1d20 plus strong and hiking, and we use that, we should get a result that's higher than our d20 roll because it added in strong and hiking here. So that's how you can use the custom system character sheet skills and attributes fields in actions and pull in those values to modify your dice rolls today. That's how it'll work pretty much forever as far as I can see, which is not terribly far, but you know, the next 6 months to a year, I'm sure it'll work the same. So get in there and use this to your heart's content, Martin. Hope that was helpful. All right, that's all for this special holiday episode of the Devlog. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, head on down below, hit the like button, press subscribe, click on the bell, do all those YouTube-y things to get some hype for our channel, because we put a lot of cool stuff out here, not just the devlog, but we have other video content as well. So be sure to check that out. If you have your own question that you'd like me to answer in the future, you'll find a link for that form down below. Click on that, send it my way, and I'll answer it either here on the show or in an email or whatever. I don't know, I'll send you a letter if you want me to. So yeah, get them my way and I'll answer them. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, and let's go play some games.